Hello, welcome to Smosh Mouth. I'm Shayne.
And I'm Amanda. And we have a very special guest with us today, Trevor.
Trevor.
Not sure where, I think my accent was going to Australia, kind of.
Yes,
G'day,
going there.
Trevor.
Way to go.
Taking a trip down under. We're doing the Australia episode today.
That's really good.
Thank you. It's because I listened to actually another podcast from an
Excuse
Australian
you?
guy.
I'm sorry.
What?
I'm sorry. What
sorry.
the hell are you
Sorry.
doing?
Excuse you?
My fault.
Not allowed.
Sorry.
Not allowed.
Not allowed, mate.
What's your other podcast that you listen to?
Oh, it's actually great. It's a history podcast. So I just listen to a lot. I love history. So
Smart.
What's it called?
it's called Half-Assed History.
Oh.
Oh.
And
Okay.
the guy that does it is really funny. And
Oh.
I love it. I could talk to you about the most recent episode I listened to. It was about Alves Reyes and the Portuguese banknote crisis.
Whoa. See, you listen to Half-Ass History, and one of my favorite podcasts is Hardcore History.
Yeah. Yeah.
And those
So-
are like 7-hour episodes
What?
into like the entirety of Alexander the Great's life.
yeah.
I love that. I love that guy.
You
'Cause-
love Alexander the Great.
No, not Alexander
I
the
love
Great.
that guy. God,
Love
that
guy,
guy's cool.
That's kind of
Alexander.
it's like a kind of odd thing to just be like, I love that guy from ancient history.
Yeah.
There are
Know him personally.
there are definitely dudes out there
Oh.
who are like, God, that dude was hilarious. You're like,
Blackbeard, hilarious guy.
Blackbeard, pretty awesome.
Blackbeard a pirate?
yeah. He's
Yeah.
a real pirate. Edward Teach.
Yeah, and he was only active for like 2 years.
He's like one of the most feared pirates in history. Not a long, I mean, honestly, the whole golden age of piracy was pretty short-lived.
Yeah, it's because
Really?
there was a war. There was a big naval war, and then after it ended, there was a bunch of people who knew how to work ships, but they were out of a job.
Yeah.
So they're all just like, why don't we just all
Let's-
get on ships and just
And robbed
mess
Yeah.
shit up?
Well, it's funny because there's basically like legal piracy where like empires like would hire pirates essentially and give them like a letter that was like, hey, you're allowed to be a pirate, but as long as you don't attack our ships. And they're called privateers. So pirates were just like kind of legally employed. And then the wars ended. They're like, well, I guess we just go back to, good old fashioned piracy.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
Really into piracy right now.
It's sick. I just read a book called The Wager, which it's in a similar vein where it's like Britain was kind of enlisted a crew. They were the Navy, sort of, where they were sent to go down below South America and like take over Spanish ships. But then they shipwrecked,
Yeah.
and then they were on an island for months, and there was a mutiny.
Yeah, the
All
mutiny
sorts
on
of
Whoa.
crazy stuff.
one of the craziest mutinies
Yeah.
in the golden age of piracy, mutiny on the Wager.
And I learned that, they got scurvy all the time and they had no idea. Like, they literally didn't know what scurvy was about. And all it was that you're not getting enough vitamin C.
Yeah.
So then they started having limes on ships. And that's where, like, limey, comes from. It's, limey lovers.
This is amazing.
I
Yeah,
could
so
talk-
welcome to our history podcast.
I could talk about pirates genuinely for hours. It's like the golden age of piracy is probably my favorite period in history and probably the period of history that I know more than like anything about.
and I think it was a total of, 80 years.
It was
Which
like-
in a history...
That's a long time.
It's a long time, but in a history scope, kind of...
Not
Yeah.
really.
It's like 1650 to like the late 1720s.
Well, a book that you recommended me, I finished, I don't know, like a month ago, The Adventures of Amin al-Sarafi.
Oh, yeah.
The writer who wrote
The
City
fantasy book,
of-
yeah.
It's so good, but it's
Pirate,
like
yeah, she's a
Indian
pirate.
Ocean, piracy, but obviously there's like some magic involved.
Totally. It's badass.
It's so badass. I loved
Yeah.
it.
but like
wow.
all the famous pirates that you hear about are kind of like basically 1700 to like the late 1720s is when you have like Calico Jack and Anne Bonny, Mary Read, Blackbeard, all like the really famous pirates that you hear about are generally from like that period.
Whoa.
Apparently, I read once that Blackbeard's hidden treasure, the likely location, if it's real, is South Carolina.
Well, actually,
What?
so fun fact, there's only one pirate in recorded history who ever actually buried treasure.
Who?
So they were all just talking shit.
Yeah, well, it came actually, it was Robert Louis Stevenson when he wrote Treasure Island. He was doing research and he heard that story. And so that was in the book. And then the book got really popular. And a lot of like the really like stereotypical pirate tropes that we hear kind of came from Treasure Island.
Yeah.
Like the X marks the spot on the map, buried treasure. Like that wasn't actually
They're
a
not
thing
real.
that pirates did. Yeah.
It's all fiction.
Yeah.
So
based.
who's the pirate that supposedly has buried treasure?
I believe it was oh my God. It wasn't
You don't get
Henry
this right.
Every.
I swear to God.
I don't think it was Henry Every.
It was Jack Sparrow.
I
It
was
was
gonna
Jack
say.
Sparrow.
I was gonna say.
Oh my God, who was it?
God.
I don't remember.
It's very funny,
okay.
though, how romanticized pirates are, because everyone in that era was like, oh, the worst people alive.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say they're
It's-
definitely pieces of shit,
It's-
right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, it's funny how history does that. Where
But they
it's
make
like-
them really hot in anything,
Yeah.
and make them obviously have like one lady that their heart is just they surrender to.
And I'm like, I don't know if anyone was really
Probably not.
into them. They were stinky as hell.
Yeah.
That's what I think about that a lot in regards to history, is how smelly history was until probably, like, honestly, 2010.
Yeah. 2010.
No, back in the
Yeah,
day,
Everyone smelled until 2010.
women
Yeah.
used to wear roses in between their breasts. That's why there's so many portraits of women with roses here, because they smelled so bad, right? So they put roses there.
Wow.
And their teeth probably reeked like
Ooh,
ass.
Bad.
It was real bad.
Bad.
So
Had to have
people
known that.
are do you think they're kissing?
Oh, yeah.
Because they just don't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, Napoleon has that famous letter that I don't know if that's true or not, where he was like coming back from war and he sent a letter to his lover back in France, and he was like, "Don't bathe." Like, basically.
Yeah, they loved
'cause
this.
he loved it.
They were all about it.
They loved this.
Yeah.
I loved the stank.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so glad that this pod today is not about history.
No.
It's about the future.
It is about the future.
Yeah.
We decided to look ahead at the rest of this year, 2025, and we've done things where we predict, like we make pseudo resolutions of like, here's what's going to happen this year.
yeah, like a Smosh baby.
Yeah.
And hey,
Which
you know,
we haven't
we're-
seen yet.
We have not seen it,
Mm-hmm.
but
But I am on a bouncy ball right
you're
now.
on a medicine ball.
I am on a bouncy ball, and I'm very grateful for the Smosh office that gave me this because it feels so much better to sit on.
But we're going to look ahead, and we're going to look at all the movies coming out this year, movies and TV shows, and we're going to predict the plots. Now, I'm not going to say spoiler warning because we've not seen any of these. These are our predictions of how these movies and TV shows are going to play out. And then as these movies and TV shows come out, we can see if we were right about any of it.
Right, exactly.
And
William
hey,
Kidd. That was the pirate.
William Kidd.
That was the pirate that buried
and
the
Captain
treasure.
Kidd, I believe.
That's what you were thinking about the whole time.
Whole time. I've missed everything.
I'm trying to think. I think one of the captains on the wager was related to him. Maybe I'm wrong, because there was a Captain Kidd on the wager.
I think, no, that was the
That's a
same
great
William
name.
Kidd. And William Kidd, funny enough, pretty like not great pirate. Yeah, he was just like, he was just okay.
And
as
we
a
think
pirate.
his treasure's in North Carolina?
No, that was rumored. That was something I read about Blackbeard.
I
but-
think it is somewhere on the east coast of the United States.
crazy.
It's supposed to be somewhere on the east coast, though.
Wow.
If you guys can find it, let us know.
Well,
I'm so excited. Guys, if we get one of these right, I'm going to feel really good. I mean, I will say, do you guys, it's kind of sometimes hard to watch a movie with me because sometimes you sit there and you go, oh, this is where da-da-da happens. I try not to do it, but it's hard, especially with comedies.
yeah, it is hard. I mean, comedies, I don't really care where the story goes. I'm just trying to laugh.
Yeah.
There's definitely a lot of movies where I know what's going to happen, but I'm like okay with
Still
it.
enjoying
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's movies that I'm hoping it throws me off.
Yeah.
I think that's been the case with a lot of like horror movies lately, because horror movies have been on their
Yes.
game lately.
Yeah.
On
and
their
I
game.
love being surprised. Like, I mean, Get Out, Barbarian,
Talk to me.
Talk to Me. All
Yeah.
these
Oh
all these
my
movies
God.
go places where I don't expect them to go, and I always love that.
You like horror
Barbarian,
movies too, right?
Love them.
Cool.
yeah.
Are you guys like predictors? Like if you're watching a movie at home, do you like Raven and I, we will get like kind of 20 minutes into the movie and then we'll like pause and be like, okay, what do we think is happening? Where is this going?
Interesting.
No, I don't.
I don't. I in my head, silently, I'm thinking about it, but not really. I try really hard to not intellectualize too much as I'm watching a movie. I try to really just like let it happen, and just enjoy it. Especially when it comes, there's a lot of movies like, for instance, because Courtney and I have been watching Andor season 2. We're catching up on it. And I think like when it comes to movies like Star Wars or Marvel or things, like there are the super fans who all they do is like contextualize and intellectualize it. And I'm like, and then that makes you hate it.
Yeah.
I'm like, some movies I do that, but a lot of movies I'm like, I am almost giving the movie the benefit of the doubt, where I am trying to piece it together and make it make sense. And I will sometimes recognize a plot hole as I'm watching a movie, and I'll go, yeah, but let me patch that up so I'm enjoying this
Right,
more.
you want to enjoy. I will say I don't pause, but H and I will literally be like, oh, that's the killer. That I think it's probably that guy. And when we're wrong, it's fucking great. And when we're right, it's also fucking great.
Yeah.
We're like, aha.
Yeah. We don't do it with like every movie, but if it's a movie that like we know there's going to be a twist or there's some kind of mystery, and it's usually like we're pausing to get a snack. We'll like pause and we'll be like get a snack and be like, okay, where do we think this is going? What's our prediction? And then
what's your snack?
Oh my God. We have lots of snacks. We kind of rotate through. I've been eating a lot of goldfish recently.
Nice.
Goldfish.
I love goldfish.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You're a baker. Do you think you could make goldfish from scratch?
I've made goldfish before.
You've made goldfish?
Yeah.
How do you have the mold for goldfish?
Yeah, dude.
A little mold.
Yeah, you kind of just, actually, it was when I was at Mythical and the art department made me a little like stamp to stamp out the goldfish. Because yeah, you just kind of roll the cracker out really thin and then you just stamp out all the fishies.
Holy shit.
What? You could make like your own type of goldfish.
Yeah.
It's just a T for treasure. Treasure. Pirates.
We're back.
That's cute.
Before we begin, I keep thinking about by the time this episode comes out, the Switch 2 is going to be out. And I'm probably
And I
not
know
gonna,
what that is.
I'm not going to have it by then.
Dude, I'm going to predict that I played
2.
a lot of
Got it.
Switch 2.
I'm going to predict I'm going to play a shit ton of Switch 2 this year. I just don't know when I'm going to get one.
Yeah.
There's only one Switch right now.
Well, there's a Switch, and then they're releasing the Switch 2.
Yeah.
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 Totally.
You've played the Switch with us a bunch.
I definitely have.
Yeah. You know what it's
And
about.
it took me like a second to.
But you figured it out.
It's doing this, isn't it? Isn't that the Switch?
You can do that in it. There's some games. Like
that
there's a lot of
feeling
physical
like,
games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Five Nights at Freddy's
We
was
played that on PC, I
On
think.
PC, yeah.
totally.
Yeah.
What's your favorite gaming console?
Probably Nintendo.
Then the Switch.
Yeah.
And that's where I was getting to. And that's where I was headed.
Did you know that Switch was a Nintendo product before this moment?
Definitely.
Okay.
I want so badly.
Here's the deal.
What I want more than anything, I want us to dress you up as a character and send you to like a video game convention and get you on a panel, and I want you to pretend that you know what you're talking about.
That sounds like my worst nightmare.
No, not if you go.
Nice.
Not if you go in character.
So
Like we dress you up
funny.
as some dude, and you're like a
Some dude?
developer at Nintendo.
Wait, like full prosthetics. Like I want a neck beard. I want it all.
Sure.
I want a neck beard. I want a shirt with like a couple stains. Just
I'm going
like a couple.
I'm going to a video game convention. I want a neck beard.
I want a neck beard.
Give me
Hey.
a neck beard.
I want hair that's long with one little braid. One.
You've described someone who's going to be there.
And you have to find it. You have to go in the back of my head and go, there's the braid.
He got it. He got that braided forever ago when he watched Revenge of the Sith, and he's like, I'm going to keep it.
And he keeps it. And he brushes and he's like, oh, don't hit the braid.
See, you're good. You're set.
If you find the braid, you get a free Switch.
Okay. If I go like that, then I can go.
Okay.
Okay. You guys look out for me at these conventions.
Let's predict when we're gonna get a Switch 2, because I don't think anybody in this office secured a pre-order.
Can I ask, when did they like announce that it's coming?
Like a month ago, and like they announce it. Well, they've announced that this is coming for a while, but a month ago they're suddenly like, oh, and you can pre-order it now, right? And similar to like tickets for a concert, they just sell out so fast. And there's nowhere to get them. Some people went in person to places to wait in line to get a pre-order, but mostly online.
Do you think that they would release it during the summer?
They're releasing it June 5th.
Yeah.
But the summer is when everyone wants to be outside, right, guys?
The summer is when all the kids
Well,
don't
a Switch
have school.
a Switch 2 is portable.
That's true.
You can
Ew.
bring it around.
Ew.
Yeah.
So you can just walk around. Oh, that.
Now you figured it.
Now I visualize
Amanda,
it.
there's like 3 of them in this room.
That's what Spencer's
I was like, I would see
always.
if I could see one. Like I know. we just
Spencer's
have-
always walking around with it, hitting himself. There it is.
Yeah.
Thank you, James. Look it. There it is.
Switch.
Yeah. Here
Yeah.
you go.
Thank you, James. James is wearing a PlayStation shirt on and giving this to me. Here it is, guys.
Yeah. And that's an old piece of tech.
And this
by
is
now.
Alex's. This is Nintendo Switch, and yeah, your wife plays this. Spencer
Courtney
plays this.
loves the Switch. Courtney will jam on some Stardew
See you guys
Valley.
later. See, this is why I don't do this. Because I would get so invested, so involved. I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be your friend.
Okay.
To be clear, she hasn't gotten off of the unlock screen. She has pressed multiple buttons. Okay, we did it.
Bitch, I'm in. You shut up.
I'm in.
Honey, I'm in. You better watch your backs, because I am in.
Oh man. Okay. I predict it's going to take me a month to get one.
I'm going to give this back to James. Thanks, James.
I think it's going to take me a month. That's being optimistic. Or it could take me,
I was.
or by Christmas time.
Did you pre-order it?
I can't.
I was.
Sold out, dude.
I was gonna say. I hope by like September. Like by the end of September, I hope I have
By
one.
my birthday, I get.
Yeah.
What is so cool about Switch 2? What's different about it?
The new Mario Kart looks really sick. I actually don't know much, like hardware-wise, like what makes it better than the previous one.
Yeah.
It's just gonna have games that are new.
Because you can't get the new Mario Kart on the Switch.
Yeah, dude. And there's also a new
That's how they
Donkey Kong out that looks really cool.
Dude, and you can be the cow when you play Mario Kart.
Dude, you can be a cow that's driving a go-kart.
Dude, how awesome is that?
That's so cool. Or you could go to a dairy farm and look at cows from afar.
That's
Go,
also true.
You make milk.
Well,
That's
that's why
also
you. That's why you
true.
play on Moo Moo Meadows.
Yeah, see? And checkmate. Anyways, let's get into movies.
Sick.
Okay.
Movies.
So, Selina put down all the movies coming out this year, like the bigger movies.
Yes.
The first movie she wrote, I don't think I've even heard about this one. Elio? This comes out in a few days as of releasing this. Elio, a space fanatic with an active imagination, finds himself on a cosmic misadventure where he must form new bonds with alien life forms. Oh, is this the Pixar movie? So this is Pixar's new movie where it has to do with aliens.
I love Pixar. Okay, so that's the kid's name?
So I think Elio, like the basis of the story is a kid somehow ends up in space, tons of aliens.
Okay, can I say that this kid probably has maybe divorced parents?
Oh, good prediction.
Okay, yeah.
Divorced parents, and
Divorced parents.
and maybe this whole space adventure is like happening in his mind, and it's some type of like healing thing to help him with trauma of divorce.
And he's trying to maybe he's trying to bring together. He's trying to bring together like a divide. Amongst the aliens.
Yeah, because maybe his parents are like picked.
And it reflects his parents' relationship.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, sometimes you have to like let things go or
and he meets a scary alien up there, and it represents maybe his fear or like a big decision that he has to make, and he has to like befriend them or save them.
I predict the kid.
Awesome.
I predict Elio, the main kid, is going to be very brave and very sure of himself, and he's going to meet an alien who's very like neurotic and insecure. And it's going to be a flip where the kid who's in space and out of his element is actually very sure of himself.
Yes.
And the alien that he meets is the one who's like scared of all of it.
That's so funny. My mind was going to a plot line of something kind of like he goes to space, he meets all these aliens, befriends them, and they're great, and then something like they end up back on Earth for some reason, and he has to convince everyone that they're good because they're like aliens from like another world, they're bad, we got to get them out of here. And then he's like, no, we need them, and then the aliens end up doing something to like save Earth or save the planet, something like that, and then everyone's like, oh, the aliens are good. Let's live in harmony.
I see, because that feels like a 90s movie. It's like Encino Man or something. I don't know. I don't know if that was, I don't think he was an alien.
No,
but like
caveman.
That feels like old school movie where it's like someone comes from a different place and you're like, hide in the closet. Hey, mom and dad.
Yeah.
I wonder how old Elio is.
This is all stuff that's probably in the trailer. He's probably just like I'd guess 12 to 15.
Yeah.
He's 11. Yeah.
So maybe they're trying to prep kids who are 11 coming into the the tech world, and maybe it's because aliens are, here on
Yeah, they
Earth.
already know they're here, so we're trying to make us less scared.
Maybe he has to like do something to like save the world, and he has to like work with the government.
Dude, that'd be awesome.
I don't.
No.
I bet you the government's going to be a pseudo bad guy in this.
Yeah.
Where it's like they're misunderstanding stuff,
Yeah.
and he has to
Right.
calm the government.
Yeah.
Very Iron Giant.
There has to be an animal involved somewhere.
There is always an
With
animal.
a
Or it's like an
spaceship
alien
thing.
animal. Maybe it's like a little thing of goo, like a living goo,
living goo.
like flubber.
like a flubber type of thing. That could be fun.
Like the little pink guy from Treasure Planet. Anyone? Back
go.
to pirates. Back to pirates.
You ever seen Treasure Planet?
Sounds familiar.
It's that Disney movie that everybody forgot about.
Yeah.
That and Atlantis.
I loved Atlantis.
Yeah, Treasure Planet's the one where it's the space ships, like they're little like sailing.
Sounds really familiar.
It's the
but I
plot
can't
of
remember.
Treasure Island, but in space.
But in space.
Yeah.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
So last prediction I'm gonna make. I think there's gonna be an alien that's carrying a boombox on his shoulder.
Yep.
I just think that's gonna happen.
There better be.
Yeah.
And I think there's going to be like a pet that has a spaceship helmet on. And is like the comic relief.
There's also probably going to be a reference to like TikTok dances in it, like an alien doing content.
And they're way beyond TikTok. Like they have
Yeah.
something that's beyond TikTok.
They've got Talk Tick.
They're on Blip Blop.
Blip blop.
Okay,
I love that.
next up, coming out June 22nd, is the Brokeback Mountain re-release 20th anniversary.
Dude.
Spencer just
A
watched
bunch of people
that.
in the room were like, "Yeah!"
Dude,
What?
I think they're going to be gay.
What is
So
happening?
my prediction is that they're going to be gay, and
Wait a second. I just watched all the Christopher Nolan Batmans recently. I've been thinking about Heath Ledger.
in the same universe.
I just rewatched them. I've been thinking about Heath Ledger. No. And Spencer the other day watched Brokeback Mountain yesterday for the first time and just told me this. So this is weird.
I'm just laughing at, oh my God,
Synchronicity.
Brokeback Mountain's coming out? That's so crazy. I just watched White Chicks the other day.
Bitch! No. The Dark Knight was Heath Ledger's last movie.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. So it's a re-release? So it literally is Brokeback Mountain just re-released?
It's re-released. They do this sometimes. They re-release it. But do you think they made any changes? Do you think they're like, hey, the straight guys?
Yeah. Dude, they made Jake Gyllenhaal non-binary.
Yeah? I'd love to know. I don't
And George
know.
Lucas had a pass at it. There's just spaceships everywhere.
They're holding each other over the mountains, and it's like
When he's walking away, you just hear Jake Gyllenhaal going, no!
Dude, Glub Shitto's in the movie.
Glub Shittos
Oh
in
my
Brokeback
God.
Mountain.
Jar Jar Binks is in it. Oh my God. He's like, hey guys.
Jar Jar Binks completes the throuple.
Guys, I gotta be honest. I've never seen Brokeback Mountain.
Get in your car, go home.
I mean, I've seen bits and pieces of it over the years.
heartbreaking.
Oh yeah, it's
That's where Heath Ledger met Michelle Williams, and then they had a kid together a little bit later, and then they broke up, and then he died.
Man.
Sorry to say that, but she's like a teenager now. Heath Ledger's daughter is like a teenager.
Wow.
Yeah, so they met on that set because they're the couple.
Mm-hmm.
They're like the couple, and then Jake Gyllenhaal and Anne Hathaway.
Anne Hathaway.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
No, I've heard it's like one of the best movies.
Do we
And
wanna-
it didn't win Best Picture. It got robbed, right? Wasn't that the year that Crash won?
Oh God, Crash with Sandra Bullock.
That's why everyone's like Crash is like the dumbest Best Picture winner because Brokeback Mountain should have won.
They weren't
I'm
ready.
wrong. So yeah, Crash won over Brokeback Mountain, and which is
Wow.
pretty dumb.
Yeah.
I've seen Crash. I've not seen
too.
Brokeback Mountain, and I know Brokeback Mountain is better than Crash.
It definitely is.
Crash is
So fun.
to this day probably there are arguments for worse Best Picture winner, but Crash is pretty bad.
How do you guys feel about movie re-releases? Re-releases.
I think it's cool. I
We
mean,
did, yeah.
I think it's dope.
I think it's cool. I just want to know like why they're doing it. Like, is it because they're
20th
doing 70 million or 20th?
20th anniversary.
Yeah.
I think it's cool.
I love it because like there's a lot of movies that like I love or have even seen before, but I never saw them in theaters. Like
Yeah.
for me as someone who like there are
Same.
movies coming out that I was 5 years old, 6 years old that I didn't see in theaters, but like getting to go see them in theaters is like this is awesome.
It's the best. And then you get to I personally am a rewatcher of my favorite movies. I rewatch movies all the time. And to watch it in a theater, to like go out like it's happening again is so amazing.
Yeah. Next up, June 27th, we have F1 the movie starring Brad Pitt.
Dude, I think they're
Okay.
gonna drive
I've seen
some
the trailers
cars.
for this. I've seen trailers for this, and it does make me laugh because it just feels like Top Gun, but with cars.
Can I admit that I've been watching the Formula One racing
Hell yeah.
show on Netflix with H. I've watched every season now.
Have you let Ian know that? Ian's obsessed
No,
with that
I haven't.
show.
I haven't let him know. But like at first, I resisted it, and then I sat down. And I was like, "This is excellent television.
It
is
crazy.
so brilliant." And I also can appreciate these young kids from when they were little, like working up to this huge thing.
They start driving when they're 3.
And the pressure, and also the kind of like that's crazy. The pressure of them having to sit back, like when it is an owner of a team, to be like, you're going to let the other teammate pass you right now. They have to be like, okay. It's like employee versus like your need and want to fucking be the best driver, but you're also fucking an employee. So then it's the politics of like who gets traded, I'm kind of obsessed with it.
It's wild, man. I'm not like, I don't know much about racing, like car racing and stuff. It's one of those things that I'm not personally into it, but I have a lot of respect for it because it's nuts.
Yeah, I'm not really into it either. But like I when I found out how like physically fit, like you have
So
to be
fit.
like,
Have you seen their training?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Uh-huh.
The stuff they do, it's insane.
They have to be so fit.
Yeah.
I mean, they're driving for, I don't even know. They do a practice to get placed. So that's like what, over an hour or something.
Yeah.
And then they do it.
It's more to me though, it's like the mental.
Yeah.
I'm like, you have to stay calm and you're going 300 miles per hour.
And it gets hot.
And if you mess up, your car flies into the air.
Yeah.
I'm like, the stakes are massive.
And the cars are millions of dollars.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the pit stops, I'm like, dude, oh my God.
Imagine being one of those people at the pit stop.
I
I
couldn't-
would be
I couldn't-
so
I couldn't-
stressed.
I couldn't.
You're there with like the, and you're just like, here it comes.
This would be me. This would be me. I'd be like, crap, and I'd like lose the tire. It would roll down the road. I'd be like, I'm so sorry.
And the driver constantly comments. They're like, man, it wasn't fast enough. It wasn't fast enough.
It's like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
I think it's actually like 1 second.
It's the most intense 1 second ever.
It
just
is.
like I can't imagine. Yeah, how long you're just sitting there with the gun to like change the tires, and then it gets in, and you're just like, and then it's done. You're like, what?
I couldn't
just
handle
happened?
that. That's your job. Is that pressure?
Brief second.
The fastest pit stop is 1.8 seconds.
The fastest pit stop is 1.8 seconds. Dude.
And it was Luigi in Cars 1.
If I haven't changed a tire in a long time, I need a good hour.
Yeah, good hour to just get your body under there and be like, God.
Just to assess the situation.
Okay, so we think this movie.
So okay, Brad Pitt. But I can't. We're talking about all this stuff. I can't help but think it's silly, and I'm a little tired of it because I feel like we've had the same movie stars for like 30 years now. I'm ready for new actors. Like I'm a fan of the newer class, and even they aren't like super young, like Michael B. Jordan and like Timothy Chalamet. Like, yeah, let's have some like new actors, because like Brad Pitt as an F1 racer, I'm like, dude, you're 60.
He must be an
like,
owner.
You would die, right?
He must
like,
be a manager or an owner in it.
no, he's a driver.
That's crazy.
He's the driver.
No.
I don't know enough about F1 racing.
You retire at like 30.
Are there
or 40.
60-year-old F1 racers? Is that possible?
I think you have to
Maybe I'm wrong.
retire.
I don't know enough. Maybe I'm wrong.
I'm pretty sure you have to retire at a certain age.
But similar to Tom Cruise as a Air Force pilot, which is like, they're not going to let you do that.
Yeah.
Where in the movie he comes out of retirement.
He comes out of retirement. I get that,
course
but like
he does.
that trope is so funny to me because like every time, like that's where I'm trying not to intellectualize it. It's the same with like I know when Sylvester Stallone did the his last Rocky movie,
Yeah.
where he's like 60 and he's
Yeah.
like fighting the best boxer in the world. I'm like, you would die, man. Like, I'm sorry, you die.
I mean, that's what happened with Mike Tyson. So he literally canceled that fight with Jake Paul because he was really like not doing well physically.
Right.
And then he did it, and it's like, hey, you did it. End on a high note. Like, it's all good.
Yeah, man. No, it's impressive to just do anything. Like you can be extremely in shape for that age, but it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think F1 is specifically like super. Maybe I'm wrong.
I've got a prediction though for the movie. Brad Pitt definitely divorced.
Definitely.
Oh,
and
his
he's
character-
lost someone. His grandfather or his dad flip.
He's a tortured man.
He's very tortured.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a thing of like, you need to let this go, man.
And I bet he has a daughter.
Yeah.
Not a son. A daughter.
No, it's like
I don't know.
he's basically his character from Moneyball, but he's an F1 driver.
Yeah.
Do you think maybe, as you were talking about with the other racers, it's like let him pass? He's not letting this other guy.
Yes.
And then the final thing is not Brad Pitt winning, but letting the other guy.
Yeah.
Passing the torch.
His
Passing
arc
the
is
torch.
passing the torch because I feel like there's a big theme where, especially in Hollywood, where older people do not want to let go. They do not want to pass on to their next role, which is like passing on to like an older, wiser person. They want to stay young forever.
Yeah.
And I feel like we need to address this arc of like, it's time.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with letting go and moving on to a different part of your life.
I know.
Like, just let go.
I think this is just a side note, but I just feel like we're in this era of like, there's just these old people are just kind of living forever and they look great. They're doing great. But it's like, dude, can a Gen Xer do something?
Yeah, they look the same.
Like our politicians are all 100 years old.
Yeah.
All the actors are the same ones from when I was a kid. I'm like, can we just let someone
we just like
become the next person?
allow change.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just.
But yeah, Brad Pitt, something maybe he has a son. I'm not sure, a daughter, but there's some conflict there, and he
Yeah.
definitely like. I think maybe his retirement when he comes back, it's like great, and everyone's like, "Yay!" And then he has like one race that's fucked,
Yeah.
and that's kind of what gets him.
Maybe he dies in the first 10 minutes.
I was gonna say, what if he dies?
Jeez.
He might actually
And Timothy
die.
Chalamet
Yeah.
takes over.
He's like, I got it, dude.
No way.
Okay. June 27th, we have Megan 2.0. We've only made it
Cannot wait.
a week away. Megan 2.0, she's back.
I cannot wait.
I actually am stoked for this movie.
Yeah.
The
I
first
loved.
one was fun.
How did it end in the first one?
She
Sorry,
gets-
wait.
she
This
gets
is
just-
actually
she gets-
spoilers.
Oh, okay. Spoiler alert for Megan 1.0. She gets kind of destroyed at the end, but then like you realize her personality's been uploaded to a computer somewhere.
Yeah. So prediction, she's back.
Well, we know from the trailer she's back. I think they are trying to make her a little bit older this time. Like I think she asked for a new body, like an older body. So I think it's starting to get into that territory.
Is she still alive? The lead
I think, yeah. I think,
from
yeah.
Girls and Get Out.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of like specific scenes that might happen.
There has to be another dumb dance.
There's got to be
There
another dance.
Has to be another dance. That was like too viral of
or
a
a
moment.
song. Like maybe she'll like perform publicly.
I don't know why, but this sounds really messed up. Maybe there's a plane scene because there's so many awful plane accidents happening, and maybe they went that far.
Well, this movie had to have been made a year or so
You're right.
ago.
Okay, maybe there's a roller coaster scene.
You think there's going to be a roller coaster?
I don't know
scene?
why, but it feels like there's going to be like a hard tech fun scene where people are having fun and she's there and you're like, "Oh shit, what's going to happen?"
I'm predicting a bit of a Silence of the Lambs situation or Terminator 2.
Okay.
Terminator 2 T2 / Silence of the Lambs where it's like, "Oh, you're a bad person, but we need your help to stop this worst thing." And then at the end, my prediction
It's Megan.
My prediction Megan's the good guy in this one. They're going Terminator 2. Because Arnold Schwarzenegger was the
Got
bad
it.
guy in
Got
Terminator
it.
1, and then he's the good guy in Terminator 2. I think
Yeah.
Megan's the good guy, neutral evil kind of situation, where she's helping them stop this other thing. But at the end of the movie, they're like, okay, now we need to shut Megan 2 down. But then she's gone. I think the end of Megan 2 is we don't know where she is. She's out there in the world, and she's now.
Whoa, that's an interesting prediction.
That's my
Yeah.
prediction.
I kind of like that.
I kind of like that, but I also really like how evil she is.
Yeah, I know. It's
My other
she's evil, but she's kind of like she's not necessarily just evil. She's kind of like
yeah.
her programming is like I'm protecting this person, like I'm looking out for them.
Yeah.
and then it kind of goes a little haywire.
Yeah.
Just a little.
Jurassic World Rebirth. My
Why?
prediction gonna be dumb.
Why? Wait, is this Chris
Really?
Pratt?
No, it's not
no.
Chris Pratt.
It's young Gen Xers.
Thank God it's finally not Chris Pratt.
Who's it? Oh
I
my God,
don't
who is
know. I don't know who's in it. Isn't it Scarlett Johansson?
Is it ScarJo?
It's Jonathan Bailey and ScarJo.
What?
And I will say, after seeing the trailer, I have hope because they're going back to the original Jurassic Park park.
I haven't seen any of these trailers.
For me, why they lost me so long ago with Jurassic Park, and the first one is truly one of the best movies ever made. Arguably like a perfect movie.
But
it got so nuts.
Yeah.
Like it's gotten to such bonkers world that I just have lost interest. It's almost too much of a good thing. Like I love dinosaurs. How can you ruin dinosaurs for me? But it's so much of it, and the diners are so like cartoonishly evil.
Yeah, the most recent one, whatever is like Jurassic World, like Dominion or something. That one was basically like a horror movie, and then there was this like underground like secret black market trading
so bad
of dinosaurs as military weapons, and I was like, this is so. But it seems like with this one, they're kind of trying to go back to the roots of like there's just these people trapped on an island with dinosaurs.
I kind of love that.
I like that too. I mean, and I've read the book Jurassic Park, and it is a horror novel.
Yeah.
100%. But at least in it, the dinosaurs also do act like animals.
Like dinosaurs, yeah.
So it's a little bit of like unpredictable. Whereas in the Jurassic Park movies, and this is even a critique a little bit of the first one, they're almost a little too predictable of like, they're just going to attack whatever they see.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same with like sharks in movies as opposed to real life where it's like, you don't know what they're going to do. And I kind of like that a little bit. But I just think there's too many dinosaurs sometimes.
Yeah.
What's the island? Did you get a vibe from it from the trailer?
I think from what I remember, it's like they go to the original like Jurassic Park thing, but then they find out that there are dinosaurs that were supposed to be in the original park that they decided were like too dangerous or for whatever reason, and they basically put them on a different island, and they're going there to research them or something, and they get stuck, whatever it is, something like that from what I remember.
So it's the most dangerous dinosaurs on one island, and it's ScarJo and Jonathan Bailey, which what a pair.
What a pair.
Listen, I love them both so much.
Yeah.
But what a pair.
I don't have many predictions.
Also, I think Jonathan Bailey, like he plays like a super dork. I think he's like
he's really good at that.
I think he's like a scientist, like super dork, like nerd.
My prediction, because I just think they're not going to be able to help themselves but do something stupid, and they have to one-up all the other movies. One of the dinosaurs is going to talk or something. I hope I'm wrong. I think one of them's going to like talk.
Dude, are we finally going to get a dinosaur sex scene?
Honestly, maybe. Next up,
two T-Rexes.
bizarre.
Next up, we have Superman, July 11th, Superman movie.
And who is it again?
I actually don't know the actor's name.
Because it's not Henry Cavill.
He's kind of a new face, I feel like. David Cornsweet. But he looks awesome. I think
David Cornsweet. All right.
But this is James Gunn's Superman, where it's like they're kind of making Superman like classic again.
Yeah.
So what's the last thing that happened to Superman?
Well, this is a whole new reboot.
Okay, so this is a new
It's
reboot.
a brand new Superman.
Is there any Lois Lane involved?
There's Lois Lane. It's what's her name from Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Shut
Rachel
up.
Brosnan. And she's a perfect
She's perfect
Lois
for it.
Lane.
This movie is getting a lot of hate from like the Snyderverse fans.
Totally.
And it's so funny because they'll say stuff like there's this one scene of like Superman swooping in and saving someone, like moving them out of the way of like something coming towards them.
Yeah.
And they're like, she totally would have broken her neck. He's flying so fast and he grabbed her. She totally would have just died.
I'm so tired of like
haters.
That
man.
that's the same with like the Snyderverse movies or any of them. Yeah. I heard something. Okay, I'm not like a huge DC fan, but I heard some lore once that I thought was really cool. And if you could look this up, that in the DC universe, humans in general are stronger and more sturdy than our world. Like humans in general in the DC universe are just like overall like stronger and more powerful. It's why people don't die from things as easily.
It's why her neck wasn't broken.
Honestly, like
neck didn't break.
Because humans in that world are just tougher.
Yeah. They're almost like kind of built like me.
Yeah.
Because like I'm like kind of a superhuman sort of like a low level superhuman.
Whoa.
Sure.
Yeah.
Lore drop.
Okay.
Who knew?
But I heard that and I was like, that makes a lot of sense. Because like in our world, most of the things happening in the DC universe would just kill so many people.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I love Superman. I will say, I love Superman. I love Lois Lane. I grew up with all the old shows. Remember the original Lois Lane? What's her name from I'm not doing this. But anyways, I love it. So a reboot is great, but I'm also like, we could do other things.
I'm actually down because the Henry Cavill Superman, and I like Henry Cavill as an actor.
Me too.
But his Superman, I just thought was kind of boring. And Superman to me is Captain America. He's supposed to be kind of like this super sweet guy who's supposed to represent all the ideals.
Yeah.
He's
And
nerdy.
his was so like serious. And I'm like, Superman's supposed to be kind of funny.
Did Henry Cavill why did he like get X-nayed from Superman and The Witcher, or was that his decision? Because I heard a rumor that he got fired.
Oh, I don't know.
The Witcher, I remember him having a lot of like creative differences.
Yeah, he didn't like how it was
he's
written.
He's a mega nerd, so he was
super fan.
He didn't like how it was written.
Yeah.
Henry Cavill's now moving on to, there's a whole nerdy universe called Warhammer, and he is a massive Warhammer fan. It's like this futuristic space war.
Okay, so
stuff.
he's got other things.
He's like
going
that.
on.
He's putting all of his eggs in that basket.
Because I really like him, and I did hear that, because I was actually kind of into The Witcher, but like I did hear that he had like creative differences, and that they're going to have.
He literally was like
Liam.
arguing with everyone of like, this is not the lore of this world. He's a mega fan. He's a mega nerd. He's maybe the nerdiest actor in Hollywood.
Yeah, no, it's great. He was like, "This isn't you're like straying way too far from the source material." Like he was like really upset about that. And
I
they're
respect
like,
that.
No, he's dope. Him helming like a very nerdy IP, I'm so curious because he is going to be like, everything has to be, and he's chosen the most difficult one.
Yeah, no.
I don't know a ton about Warhammer, but it's the most dense like universe.
Really? Okay.
It's ridiculous, and it's very dark.
Will it be a show?
I actually don't know. I have
Okay.
no idea, but it takes place like, like tens of thousands, millions of years in the future. Everything's messed up and awful. It's like pseudo-religious weird stuff going on.
Okay.
All right, next up we have Smurfs, which weren't there Smurfs movies?
Come on.
We're getting Smurfs again.
Again.
My predictions, I don't have many. I know there's going to be a dance and a song.
Of course.
Maybe it's going to be
Rihanna is Smurfette.
Rihanna is
I-
Smurfette.
That's so funny. I was literally about to say, I feel like there's going to be some like mega pop star that stars as one of the Smurfs.
Definitely,
So-
because they had Pharrell, right? And then Justin Timberlake were like the big music.
Who's going to do the song for this
so
one?
she's speaking.
Yeah. Smurf.
She's speaking as Smurfette and then probably singing, maybe.
We're going to have a song and a dance. There's going to be a song
Not
and a
gonna
dance.
lie, I do not watch the Smurfs.
No. Oh, you're talking about the OG.
No, the OG I watched. I
Oh.
do not watch the updated
Well,
movies.
No, that's okay.
I think it's
what's
okay.
what's the
Don't
bad
judge you
guy's
for
name?
that.
Gargamel?
Hold on, I have it here. Gargamel.
Gargamel.
Wow.
Yeah, the wizard who he just hates the Smurfs and wants to kill them.
Yeah.
So does he eventually kill one of the Smurfs in this?
I would
movie,
think
we
that'd be awesome if he actually just fucking
Because it's a
killed
kids movie.
if he,
He just like rips it apart.
He's like,
Gargamel finally gets
doesn't
his.
he? I don't remember the Smurf lore. Does he want to eat them?
Does he want to eat them? Yeah. I thought maybe he wanted to eat them.
I think he wants to eat them. I think it's really funny that in a whole world he's just like that village of blue little people. I hate him.
he hates them.
I hate him. I
He
want
has
him
to hate
gone.
something.
Ooh, Amanda, I think you're gonna love this. July 18th, the reboot of I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Shut the f up.
I never saw that movie.
What?
I never saw
It's
it.
a classic.
I know. I realize I kind of
Jennifer Love Hewitt, Freddie Prinze Jr., Sarah Michelle Gellar. Pretty sure
Pretty solid.
Freddie Prinze Jr. and Sarah Michelle Gellar met on that.
It's a pretty
Ryan
stacked
Phillippe.
cast for
It
that
is.
era.
We had this joke growing up because we loved watching those movies, me and my sisters. And sometimes, so the killer, I'm sorry if this is a spoiler, it's an old ass movie. The killer has like a really low bucket hat and a big jacket and a hook. And sometimes when my mom wears hats, she looks
like that.
She looks insane, and we're like, "Uh-oh, I know what you did last summer." And she's like, "Girls, we got to get in the car," and we're like, "Uh-oh, here she comes."
That's so funny.
Okay, I don't know much about this movie. I know it's going to follow a similar plot line.
So
They're going to kill
Gen Z.
someone. They're going to hide the body. But my prediction is towards the end, either Jennifer Love Hewitt or Sarah Michelle Gellar is going to be.
It's going to make
cameo.
absolutely.
And they're going to be like, you need to do this or this or this.
And they're going to be so hot. They're going to be teens. Two of them are going to be making out in the car.
So
They're
right.
It's going to be summer, and they're literally going to run over
And there's going to be a cheating thing where one of them cheated on one of the other ones.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
mad and whatever. They're going to get in a
They're
fight and they're
so
going to run
mad.
out by themselves. And then they're going to get killed.
They're so mad.
Yeah.
You know, there's like 4 I know what you did last summer. It's like I still know what you did last summer.
Yeah.
I did, and one
I know what you did a few summers ago.
I kind of forgot what you did last summer.
I kind of forgot what you did, but remind me and I'll find out. Anyways,
I'm going to skip down to,
Yeah.
because there's Fantastic Four.
go to your faves.
Fantastic Four First Steps comes out, but I don't know. With Marvel stuff, I'm like, I feel like we know
Cares.
the formula.
Mhm.
Freakier Friday comes out August 8th.
With Jamie Lee Curtis and
And
Lindsay.
Lindsay Lohan.
Uh-huh.
I feel like they've been promoting it forever.
Yeah, a lot of Fridays of talking about it.
Please.
I'm so done. No,
but
I'm
like,
kidding.
I literally thought it came out already because they've been promoting it so hard.
No, I kind of felt the same way. I feel like I've heard about this movie. or knew
it's
that
been
this
like a
movie was
year.
happening for a long time.
Okay, so they're gonna swap again.
But I'm pretty sure that there's another swap in there too.
Is let's see. 22 years after Tess and Anna endured an identity crisis, Anna now has a daughter and a soon-to-be stepdaughter. As they navigate the challenges that come when two families merge, Tess and Anna discover that lightning might strike twice.
Wait,
So we don't know. So there's different types of swaps that could be happening.
I bet the daughter is going to swap with, I don't know.
Do they swap with their daughters? Like they're both in.
And then they have to relive what the daughters are feeling and what the mothers are feeling.
That'd be interesting if they're both then, and then the daughters are both in Lindsay Lohan, and so it's like I don't know.
Whoa.
Maybe it's that. Maybe they both swap.
when did the first Freaky Friday movie come out?
22 years ago,
90s?
Okay.
No, early 2000s.
2003.
I'm so curious because like I don't know how I feel about like movie reboots like that, but also I've seen Freaky Friday, but it wasn't like a movie for me growing up where I was like, oh my God, like Freaky Friday. That's such an iconic movie from my childhood. And so like I'm curious how I'll feel when movies start getting rebooted that came out in like 2010,
I know.
2011, like movies that when I was a kid, I was like, I'm
No,
watching this.
It's
like,
weird. It's
I'm
definitely
not
weird.
like so. Here's the thing. Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan having a movie together is just like really iconic for me. But I'm not like, chomping at the bit to go see the movie personally because
Yeah.
like I saw it
Mhm.
and it happened
Yeah,
and it was great.
we have so many. We basically only have reboots and sequels.
Yeah,
like,
we do.
original movies are so shocking nowadays.
Yeah.
and that's been the case for a long time. Like when Freaky Friday came out, original style movies like that were kind of the norm. I will say, for like a solid 5 years after Freaky Friday, that was like a trope that we just saw because we literally had 13 going on 30, 17 again.
We had Wish Upon a Star, which is an old school Disney movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, with Katherine Heigl.
But so that was like a big trope during the
Yeah.
2000s. I predict, I hope, that in the first, in this movie, they acknowledge that the first movie was a little racist with how they swap. Because it's a fortune cookie situation where they're like, whoa, this crazy magic from the East. Like,
no.
it's definitely.
That's insane.
It's definitely, you watch it and you're like, ooh.
So they're at a restaurant and then they go, "Oh, fortune cookie," and they go, "No."
You're not allowed in this.
No.
They're banned from that restaurant. They're like, you can't come in, dude. You guys came back talking a bunch of shit.
Yeah, no.
Next up, we have Wicked for Good. November 21st, the second part of Wicked. I've never seen the musical Wicked.
Ugh.
So I don't, so you already know the ending.
I already know the ending, but here's the thing. The last time I saw the musical Wicked, I was like 22 or something in New York. And so I do know the ending because I will say as a Wicked fan, it's the best music. The most mainstream music is in the first part, right? But the second part is like the best freaking songs.
Interesting.
And it's when everyone had a lot of like comments about Cynthia Erivo being like very like sweet and meek. And I was like, yeah, because there's a part 2 where she literally accepts herself and her songs are badass.
Yeah.
Cool.
Have you seen Wicked?
I have not seen Wicked. Yeah.
Did you see the first? Did you see the movie?
I actually haven't seen the first movie. I've been meaning to watch
okay.
it, but I just haven't seen it yet.
It's dope.
Just
It's
haven't
really
watched
if
fun.
you haven't seen Wicked, the musical, the movie was really great. It was also like a lot, like visually, whereas like the musical is so powerful because there's so much less happening on stage.
Sure. Sure.
I'm very excited also because like Jonathan Bailey is also in it.
He's awesome.
And this is his time. Things happen.
I'm very curious. I feel like I don't want to say too much about what I predict because, for one, the answers are already out there. But
I don't want to.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say anything.
yeah, I hope there's. I guess I'm a fan of Wizard of Oz, so I'm hoping for more connections to that. Like, I'd love to see how all the characters kind of come out. But we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I just think when I meet the wizard, my whole life will change. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Jesus Christ.
Five Nights at Freddy's 2. December 5th, FNAF 2. We were talking about this before we started
Yeah, we
rolling,
were.
that my issue with the first one, of what I saw, I didn't watch the whole thing. It wasn't like scary enough. Like, and I know it's for kids, but I think there could be more jump scares.
Yeah.
But the movie's not for kids.
I think the movie's kind of for kids.
Was it PG-13?
I thought it was PG. I thought it was PG.
Five Nights at Freddy's was PG.
No, I
Was
thought
it
it was
not?
PG-13.
Maybe
You
it's
watched it.
It is like it is a pseudo kid like.
PG-13.
PG-13.
PG-13 movies can be extremely scary,
Yeah.
but it didn't feel that scary to me. It felt a little bit more like just lore fun.
Yeah.
I'm kind of hoping that it was a bit more of like a setup movie because I would love to see like more horror.
But they kind of did. The first movie kind of had like the lore of the first couple movies or first couple games.
Yeah.
So I don't know where they're gonna go with this.
So Josh Hutcherson will be in the second movie.
I think so.
Yeah. I hope we get to see like the nightmare animatronics. I think that's where like we could see like some of the like some scarier things like at home in the bedroom. It's like it's his younger sister,
yeah.
right?
Oh.
Like his younger sister going through some
Wait, is
stuff.
that in the game when they're at home?
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
but-
bedroom.
That'd be cool.
The bedroom one's really
I
scary.
think the plot of the first one was just a little too complicated. I wish that it was a little more simple.
Yeah. I'm excited to see Matthew Lillard back at it again.
I love him. He's so good at horror movies. He was in the original Scream.
Yeah.
And he's such an he has survived so much because he might even be in I Know You Did Last Summer. It doesn't matter. He's always with that like crew, right?
Yeah.
He was in the Scooby-Doo movies.
He was in
with
the
Freddie
Scooby- of
Prinze
course.
Jr.
No,
and
his-
Shaggy.
his-
That's
his,
why. Yeah,
his
yeah.
resume is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All over the
He's
place.
awesome.
He's amazing.
Lastly, we have Hunger Games: Sunrise on the Reaping. Another one that's a book, so people know the answers. I've not read the book.
This is part 2 of the prequel.
It's not part 2 of the prequel. It's just another prequel. It's about Woody Harrelson's character.
Yeah. It's like a
Oh,
jump.
right.
It is another prequel, but it's not like directly following.
Okay.
I know it's just
Hey Mitch.
it's just sad. I've heard it's just a bummer.
Yeah.
But like really good.
I
But a
have the-
really good bummer.
Yeah, I have the book at home, and I've been meaning to read it, and it's just
Well,
kinda sitting. And
it's a bummer.
so I guess.
I mean,
if I'm
Haymitch's
sad, I'll crack
character
it
is really cool. I love his character.
open.
So when are they making a part 2 of the prequel that just came out?
Well,
The Songbird
well,
one or
they
whatever
already
the
made that one.
frick it's called. No, I know they made that, but there's definitely
Then
gonna
there's
be a
Sunrise
part.
on the Reaping. It's coming out. Oh, it's coming out 2026. So that's next year. That's next. Sorry. But this year we have Avatar: Fire and Ash and a Legend. The Last Airbender movie is coming out January of 2026. I didn't realize they were making one of those.
Yeah.
Hope it's good.
I didn't realize they were making another Avatar.
I mean, no Avatar movie can beat the M. Night Shyamalan movie. That's the
Yeah,
single greatest
with
movie of all time,
Ong.
probably.
Wait, what?
I was no, it's terrible. M. Night Shyamalan did an Avatar: The Last Airbender movie so bad it's funny.
But you didn't know that another like Avatar like
like Avatar.
yeah
Avatar,
Fire
yeah.
and Ash. No,
I-
there's 4. They're a bunch.
I didn't know because the last one was interesting.
Yeah, but this one's gonna be the like fire one. So,
they're on
meeting
an
a
island.
They're meeting an evil tribe because
Oh,
they've yet to meet like an evil tribe. The humans have been the bad guys for
Yeah.
the most part. I think the
They're meeting an
the
evil
Navi
tribe.
They're
Yeah.
evil Navi.
Yeah.
But is it still going to be like? It's still going to be the lead dude, whatever his name is,
Jake Sully.
and his family,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jake Sully,
yeah.
and Kate Winslet. Kate Winslet's not going to be in it because she was part of a different tribe. Zoe Saldana.
Zoe Saldana.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know.
Jake
I think
Sully.
I think it's gonna. I have no idea.
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, it's gonna be another like visual masterpiece.
I mean, it was
like,
gorgeous.
craziest,
yeah, it's gonna be
but
cool.
I have no clue.
You're gonna upgrade the Disney rides. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have TV shows. First up, Selina highlighted Walking with Dinosaurs, out today as of this.
What?
Which is my jam. I'm going to watch it.
Is it a
Love
documentary?
dinosaurs. It's kind of, they do it like an animal, like a nature program, except it's all CG of dinosaurs, and they kind of show them as they assume they would have acted as the animals they were. It's really fun to watch.
What is it going to be on?
I think it's on Apple TV.
I have to get Apple
I'm a
TV.
huge fan of Walking with Dinosaurs. I watched it as a kid.
I got to.
Been watching the new ones. It's so cool because they've discovered so many new dinosaurs, and they show them, and it's so fun. It's fun to see them as they were, which is no different than like any other nature program you watch.
Do you remember that movie from the early 2000s, Dinosaur?
Yeah.
No.
That shit was
so
messed up.
sad. I watched that probably when I was like 7 years old, and that was probably the first time that I experienced like deep sadness as a child. Where I was like,
I feel out of my mind because that movie does not get brought up that much.
Who's in it? I've never even heard of it.
I don't know who's in it. But it was just kind of like a CG like dinosaur movie, and it was one of the saddest movies ever.
That makes sense.
Isn't it a Disney movie?
It's a Disney movie, and it's so intense because the start of the movie is like, oh, it's this dinosaur, and he's like a little misplaced, so he ends up hanging out with a bunch of lemurs, and he's kind of joined this family of lemurs, and then you're like, okay, like cool, already a brutal start. Like his egg got lost dinosaurs are getting killed all over the place in this. But then he's like, oh, we're hanging out with these lemurs. This is cool. And then all of a sudden, one night, it's like the most intense shit I ever watched as a kid. They're like, wait, what's that bright light? And a friggin' comet like hits nearby.
Yeah.
And then their whole home is destroyed.
Yeah.
He gets misplaced again, and the whole movie is them trying to find a place to live.
Yeah.
And it's kind of agony.
Dinosaur stories are very sad, usually.
Yeah.
And dinosaurs had some good times.
Yeah. At least some.
It's the opposite. Coming back to the Age of Piracy, it's the flip, because Age of Piracy, you get all these stories, and it only was in like a short span. Dinosaurs, we talk about as if it's like, yeah, here's this time dinosaurs lived. It was like 300 million years, man. They were around.
That's wild.
They were doing plenty of stuff.
Yeah, but we only see the end. We only talk about
I will not be watching dinosaurs. Sounds very sad.
Dinosaur.
Oh, only one. It's a story about
one of my favorite dinosaur facts is like, I think it's like, T-Rex and Stegosaurus lived farther apart than T-Rex and humans, like time-wise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
T-Rexes were 64 million years ago, and then like Stegosaurus or something was like 100 and some crazy million years ago. So
I love watching like videos on YouTube of like, here's the timeline of like dinosaurs, and it'll just be across the entire existence. It's like a 30-minute video of just like, here's every dinosaur and what like they evolved into and what came after. I'm like, this is awesome. But yeah, it's crazy how so many of the dinosaurs we know, it's like, oh, they just completely different time periods. Like this dinosaur went through an extinction level event, and then these other dinosaurs came after.
It's very funny that like on a timeline scale, when we judge it that way, it's like saying, yeah, we lived in the time of ancient Rome. Because it's like on a time scale, it looks like we do.
Yeah.
Because it's so massive. I love that stuff.
Wow.
Anyways,
I love how much you guys love dinosaurs.
Back to TV shows.
Back to TV shows.
Back to TV shows. We got a bunch of TV shows here. Bridgerton season 4 comes out. I think a bunch of other dumb shit.
It's the brother. It's the painter.
A bunch of other dumb gooey shit.
It's the
and there's gonna
painter.
be tea, and they're gonna be playing modern music.
They're gonna be eating finger sandwiches. They're gonna be having sex. They're gonna be in big dresses.
How much sex is had on Bridgerton?
A lot.
Depending
on the season.
Oh, are some seasons?
First season is a lot of sex. Second season, a good amount of sex.
Not as much classical
Third
boinking.
season, you didn't want to watch it. Sex.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't want to watch the sex that was happening?
No.
Oh.
The brother was cringe.
Oh.
Everyone.
It would be really
everyone
funny.
Thought so.
It would be so
Sorry.
funny to have a season like Bridgerton, like a show like that where it's very sexy, very romantic. And then whenever they have sex, it's just the most awkward, horrible sex scene you've ever seen. But then they go back to just being like super romantic.
It kind of was, because I will say I love Bridgerton. The second season is by far the best with Jonathan Bailey. But the third season, it was just, for me personally, I thought the brother was very cringe.
Oh.
He was kind of whiny and cringy.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be with Penelope, who I'm not going to say anything else, but like they've been friends forever. And normally that story is great. She's amazing. He was a little cringe for me, and they tried to make him look very hot with like all of his hair. And you were like, no.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And now this one is going to be the brother who like gets really f***ed up, like gets high and paints.
So
and
every
like,
season is a different character.
every
Yeah.
season is a different family member of the Bridgertons.
Yeah.
Oh.
So it's-
and they all fall in love.
And
Yes.
Jonathan Bailey has so much aura. And then, in season 3, it's just like the brother just kind of is like a dork. Like he doesn't, they try and make him seem like he's a school guy, but he's just zero.
He has
aura.
no game also. And he's like, you're like, nah.
Damn.
Like she has a lot of game. He's like, nah.
They're so cute in real life, though.
They're not together.
They're not anymore. Oh my.
No, those two? Wait.
The Penelope and the guy and the brother, are they
No,
not together
they've
anymore?
never been together.
What? Who's
They've-
Penelope with then in real life?
She's with some other hot guy.
Am I insane? Am
Yeah,
I
they've
am I
never-
getting Mandela affected? I swear to God, I thought they were together in real
No,
life.
they're not together in
You're-
real life.
I don't know what you guys are talking about, but your world has just been shattered.
I don't think there's
can see
anyone
it.
in Bridgerton who are
She's reportedly
together.
dating British actor Jake Dunn.
Jake Dunn.
Honey, they've never been together.
I swear to God, I thought that was like a big thing.
No.
Oh my God.
They're good friends. They
Wow.
seem like it.
Well, my world just came crashing down. It's okay because I don't really like everything that I know about Bridgerton is like from Raven, basically.
It's just
It's like I see it. I actually don't even know if I don't think I've watched all of the first 2 seasons.
just watch season 2. Shondaland. I mean, she did Grey's Anatomy. She's brilliant.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Season
Okay.
2 is just very, very good.
Okay.
And it's the lead she's from Sex Education.
Okay.
Anyways, that's
Cool.
Bridgerton lore. So it and they're books.
I loved. I watched the first episode and like I didn't get into it, but I loved the vibe of the show. I was like, I dig this.
That
This
was
is so
a
original,
viral moment.
so cool. I respected every choice made by the show. I
Yeah.
was like, this is so fun. I
is really
love
fun.
this. It just wasn't for me because I hate
That's
love.
okay.
Yeah.
No, I know
And
this.
sex.
And you're always saying that.
And sex,
It's-
romance, sex. I'm like, ugh, gross.
I know.
Gross.
You
Not
love,
into it.
you love dinosaurs.
Bro, where are the guns in Bridgerton?
Yeah.
Am I right?
Give me war.
We don't
Yeah.
have guns. We have gossip.
Lady Whistledown.
Lady Whistledown.
Okay, finally, we have the 2026 Winter Olympics. So this is a while from now.
Garde cannot stop talking about it. It's happening here in LA.
But I guess, but yeah, this is the 2026 Winter. No, that you're talking about.
Sorry, not winter.
The next Summer Olympics are
Summer.
in LA.
Everywhere we walk, he goes, this is
Scared
all
me.
going to get cleaned up for the Olympics.
No, the
I'm
Olympics.
like, is it?
It's going to be insane.
That's where they're gonna fence.
He's like, downtown is going to be
That's going to be
wild.
2027. So the Winter Olympics.
It's happening where?
I don't know.
Oh, Italy. Yes.
Milan.
It's happening in Italy. Winter in Milan.
Milan.
And I love the Olympics.
Yeah.
I was obsessed with the Olympics this last round.
Well, it's going to be. My prediction is going to be crazy.
Although winter is not always my favorite to watch. Sorry, what were you going to say?
Oh no. Well, actually, I was gonna say my boxing coach. He's got beef with the Olympics because I didn't know this, but they no longer are doing boxing as an event.
Whoa.
Like I
That's
guess
a big change. It's been there forever, right?
Why?
'cause
They just did it.
I know that like MMA I think was taken out or whatever. Like I don't know if it's kickboxing or MMA, but yeah, I guess there's no more boxing in the Olympics. I think starting like
Irish-
with this summer.
Wow.
This Irish woman, I watched her match. She just won this last.
Well, they had it in the last Olympics, but then they're taking it out.
Yeah,
so
I think-
sad.
Unless Grish is lying to me.
He just was upset that day.
Wow.
Yeah. But from what he said, or there was some some sport, and I'm pretty sure it was boxing.
That would be such a bummer to me.
Yeah.
Really good to watch.
Before we get into this, basketball is currently in its final stages, right?
Whoa.
Semifinals right now, and then we get into the finals.
Yeah.
You've got the Pacers, you've got the Knicks, you've got the Timberwolves,
Yep. Timberwolves
and
Yep,
and
Timberwolves.
the Thunder.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think's gonna who do you think's gonna win?
What team is the Thunder?
Unfortunately,
Oklahoma
it's gonna be
City.
the Thunder.
You think it's gonna be the Thunder?
Unfortunately, I mean the whistle that Shay gets it's just unfortunately it's not fun to watch.
Okay.
Oh, we're at 65 minutes. We have to get out of here.
The good, the good ending is that the Pacers win.
All right.
And where are the Pacers from?
Indiana. I'm going to go with Pacers.
Hey.
The good ending is the Pacers. The bad ending is the Thunder.
Why don't you like the Thunder?
Basically, so Shea he's just named the MVP actually. He is what they call him the foul merchant because the way that he plays basketball is really just trying to draw fouls and
That
shoot free
sucks.
throws, and he gets the most insane calls. And a lot of guys in the NBA are really bad about it and try and draw fouls. Like it's something that's been around for a long time, but
Yeah.
Don't they say that about LeBron?
they say that about LeBron. James Harden really was like kind of one of the first guys that was really terrible about it. But yeah, no, Shea is just like,
Kind of annoying to watch sometimes, though.
yeah.
It is frustrating because it stops the game.
But the Pacers and the Knicks, that game one was really fun.
As of right now, there's only been one game played between the Pacers and the Knicks. And the Pacers won. I'm going to predict Pacers. I'm going to just throw it out there. I don't have much skin in the game, but I'm going to say that. And
I will predict the Thunder.
Okay, you got it. Finally, let's just say it right now. We got who's going to win the Super Bowl.
Didn't we just do this?
I know. It's months out. The preseason hasn't even started. We could throw out some wild guesses. We don't know what's gonna happen.
I think my mom wanted Buffalo. Or no, she didn't want Buffalo.
I think I'm gonna say this now. We'll see once we get into the season. We'll probably make more predictions as it goes. I'm gonna throw out the Ravens. I think it's gonna happen finally.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's gonna finally happen for.
Not going to be the Patriots.
No, it won't.
No.
I would think we can safely say that.
Sorry.
As long as the Chiefs aren't in
Chiefs
the Super Bowl, I'll be
The
happy.
Chiefs are gonna get very
They're
close.
definitely going to get very close.
They might go to the Super Bowl again. It's just kind of
I just
how
hope
it goes.
not. I just hope not.
Finally, I'll say one last thing. I got really excited, but we won't talk about it because it'll come out before this episode. The creators of Mare of Easttown have a new detective show on HBO
Whoa.
with Mark Ruffalo.
Sarah Christ is gonna get some more lore.
It was so funny. Angela texted me. She was like, have you seen Mare of Easttown? Because, like, I'm vibing on Sarah Christ. And I was like, yes.
That is
The
quite
Killing,
literally the basis.
Killing and Mare of Easttown and basically every other detective show that I've ever seen inspired Sarah Christ.
I feel like fans of Sarah Christ need to watch that show because it'll probably be so funny to them.
Yeah. And here's the thing. It's not all Mare of Easttown. It's definitely also The Killing.
Combo.
But like, and every other detective show.
Sure.
But I'm so excited that I watched the trailer of Mark Ruffalo being this, and it's everything you want.
Hell yeah.
It's everything you want. Minus, a woman being the detective, but it's
Totally.
great.
One last prediction.
Here we
I predict that I'm going to win my fight at Creator Clash.
Oh! All right. So you predict you're going to win your fight at Creator Clash.
Yeah, October 25th. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to give it everything I got. I'm going to beat the socks off of my opponent.
Whoa.
That's pretty awesome, dude.
Yeah.
And I predict that I'm going to have a baby.
What?
I know.
Okay.
Wait a minute. Don't you have to have sex to do that?
That's
Nope.
not very cool.
You don't.
Oh, that's not very cool.
The stork drops it off and all is well.
Very cool. All right. Well, we're out of time. But hey, we'll reflect on these movies as they come out. As this year progresses and these movies get released, let us know if we were correct
Yes.
about any of the predictions.
Please.
Yeah.
You don't need to let us know that we were wrong. We're going to be wrong about most of it, but the correct ones, let us know.
Let us know.
Trevor, thanks for being here, man.
Thanks for having me.
Anytime, Trev.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll be
All
back
right.
for the next episode that we do on pirates. We're going to be talking about pirates.
Honestly,
I'm
probably-
I'm actually down.
We're probably going to do it.
Yeah.
All right. See you later, guys. Bye.
Bye.